It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 20th Annual Academic Awards Dinner. On behalf of the Chamber Board and the over 500 members of the Chamber, to the students and your parents, congratulations on a job well done. This is the 20th year of this annual event. This event began because of a vision that existed in a relationship and a partnership that was created between the Port Huron Area School District and the Chamber of Commerce. It, at one time, and there have been many clones and copycats since then, was the only program that recognized students for their academic excellence. We were recognized not only locally but nationally for our efforts. And to the students, once again, congratulations, and again to your parents, great job, because it took a lot of, I'm sure, of heartache, hard work on your part also. This year we will be recognizing 106 students. Over the past 20 years, we will have recognized over 2,000 students. That's fantastic. This evening began with a very small group of parents and students and has grown to this room now, and it's due to the efforts, I believe, of the students, their parents, our Board of Education over the years, as well as our staffs in our buildings, because they're fantastic. This evening, as I mentioned, became a reality because of the vision of really three people. One was Mr. Marsh Campbell, who was at the time president of the Board of Education in the Port Huron Area School District. Mr. Bill Kimball, who at that time was the assistant superintendent, is now our fantastic superintendent, and then president of the Port Huron Chamber, Miles Benedict. The three of them brainstormed together and said, you know what, we need to recognize our academic excellence. And that's how this program began, and that's why we're here today. The Greater Port Huron Chamber of Commerce has played a vital role in bringing this event, as I shared with you. As you can imagine, a great deal of effort has gone into raising funds necessary to provide this celebration and this activity. It just doesn't happen on its own. It happens because of commitment and dedication of many people. Over the years, a number of Chamber presidents have worked diligently to fund this event, including our current president, Holly Quain. If she would stand in the back, we give her a round of applause. Recently, we have added a number of local business sponsors who have made significant financial contributions to ensure that this traditional event will continue, and I'd like to recognize them at this time. And some of them are here and some aren't. First, from Bank One, I believe the City President, Darlene Jakulek, and her husband, Jim. If you could please stand back there in the back. Thank you. Eastern Michigan Bank, Commercial Loan Officer Paul Leidy and his wife Laurel, I believe, are here. If not, they should be sneaking in any minute. There he is. Hi. Welcome. Thank you. Fifth Third Bank, Commercial Loan Officer Chris Flann is here representing them. Chris, I saw you walk in somewhere. Thank you. Flagship Federal Credit Union, Board Chair Ron Howison and his wife Marion. Back in the back. Thank you. Seaway Community Bank, Port Huron Loan Office Manager Hashan Girabelli. Thank you. Women's Life Insurance Society, Assistant Director of Agencies, Connie Wagner is here. Thank you, Connie, and your group. Two organizations that I don't believe are represented tonight, but really have made a contribution to this program over a number of years. Citizens First Bank and Mr. Marsh Campbell, the CEO. I don't think he's here, but to Citizens Bank, thank you. And last but not least, Standard Federal Bank has also made this evening a possibility. So if we could all give them one more round of applause. Thank you. At this time, there are some special guests that I'd like to recognize. First of all, our board president is here with us tonight, and she is seated to my right, Mrs. Barb Daniels, and her fine husband, Tom. If you could please rise. Thank you. Don't fall. Don't fall. We have another board member with us, and I know he's going to smile when I introduce him because he's probably trying to hide somewhere in this room. But Vice President Jeff Stout and his wife Kathy is here tonight. Thank you for being here. I also would like to recognize Mr. Ron Moline, principal of Port Huron High School, his wife Cindy, and their staff that are here. If you please rise. And Principal Mrs. Cheryl Voitas, seated back, and her staff, they are also here tonight. Give them a round of applause. This time I would like to introduce to you those seated at the head table. To my right, as I mentioned earlier, is Mrs. Daniels and her husband Tom. Immediately to my right is Mr. Robert M. Nichols, Vice President of Kettering University, and our guest speaker tonight, and his wife Laura. Welcome. To my left, Mr. William Kimball, Superintendent of the Port Huron Area School District, and his lovely wife, Willanne. Welcome. In closing, I would just like to once again say to all of the students and their parents, on behalf of the Board of Directors and members of the Chamber of Commerce, congratulations, job well done, best of luck in anything and everything you do. Don't ever forget to reach for that apple, no matter how far away it is, because you know what, you're going to get there. So congratulations. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Kraft, because I know all of you are starving, and they told me not to talk too long. So congratulations. Have a great night.
At this time, I would like to invite you on this occasion of celebration to pause with me for a moment of thanks. Let us be thankful for the cultural diversity of our community that gives us all a rich opportunity to learn about the similarities and differences that make us who we are. To the adults, I invite you to give thanks for the achievements of our children as they have excelled in academics, athletics, activities, and community service. And may we all be thankful, too, for the friendships, experiences, and accomplishments that have enriched their lives. To the students, I invite you to give thanks for the sacrifices of your parents who have provided so much. Transportation to events, discipline and expectation, as well as support and praise, tempered by guidance and correction as needed. Financial support for varsity jackets, class dues, competitions, prom, senior pictures, lunches, and so on. And may we all give thanks for the dedication of teachers, coaches, and sponsors who have provided encouragement and motivation in the classroom, on the playing field, in clubs and activities, and leadership groups, helping our students to face the trials and challenges that made them who we are. May we count our blessings and appreciate the strength we find in our faith and in our belief when facing life's tribulations. May we count our blessings and appreciate our health and happiness, comfort and direction. And may we be thankful for those who have given their lives and those who serve today, that we may enjoy the personal freedoms that we sometimes take for granted. Now may we be thankful for the food we are about to receive, for the strength and nourishment it provides, and for the fellowship of this social opportunity as we get to know one another and share in the accomplishments of our children. The staff of Wadhams Banquet Center will now direct tables to the buffet line, and we hope you all will enjoy your meal. Have a very good evening.
Don't tell the truth.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Barbara Daniels, and I'm President of the Board of Education. Before I get started, I'd like to introduce one other board member that came after introductions were done a little earlier. We have Rasha Damashki. If she'd stand, please. I am very happy to be here this evening to honor these students on their outstanding academic success. To be honored tonight, these students needed to attain by their senior year a cumulative grade point average of 3.5 or better. The awards they will be receiving will reflect how many years they have held that GPA. If this is their first year, they will receive a pin, their second year a letter, their third or fourth years a bar. They will also receive a certificate of recognition and an academic awards booklet. This is such an accomplishment. The world is more complex, and these students will be competing globally, not just locally. So what we ask of our students today is significantly different from what was asked of us at their age. The classes are harder, and the graduation requirements have been increased, all to ensure that our students are well prepared to meet the challenges ahead. Today's students are not only taking college prep classes, but also actual college courses that, for those who do well, may be awarded college credit. Many of these students will start their freshman year in college having already earned several credits. Students, we're so very proud of you. To be here tonight, you have managed to balance your schoolwork, the many extracurricular activities you've been involved in, along with volunteering in your community, working, and I'm sure maintaining an active social life. And you've done it all so exceptionally well. This ability to do several things at the same time and be successful at them will serve you well. But you've had help along the way. Your parents certainly deserve to feel proud tonight, not just of you, but of the job they've done in getting you to this point. I feel that behind every successful student stand devoted, involved parents who realized early on that their children's education is a team effort, that of the student, the teacher, and the parent. Parents, as you sit here tonight, first wondering where all the years have gone, wasn't it just yesterday that they started kindergarten? Take a moment to pat yourselves on your back. Obviously, you've done a great job. Students, also thank your teachers. None of us would be where we are today were it not for the dedication and commitment of all those teachers who each in their own way touched our lives and inspired us. Again, students, congratulations on your achievement. I know the hard work, skills, and commitment to excellence that got you here will help you to accomplish great things. I, along with all the members of the Board of Education, wish you happiness and success in all your future endeavors. Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, William Kimball. Bill and his wife, Willanne, have been lifelong members of this community, having attended Port Huron area schools and both graduated from Port Huron High School in 1963. They have raised two sons, Ryan and Brett, who both graduated from Port Huron Northern High School. Bill has served the school district as a teacher, a principal, an assistant superintendent, and now a superintendent. He is devoted to our school district. He, like the students, is very good at balancing his many responsibilities. Being the largest employer in St. Clair County, he is responsible for 1,600 employees for whom he cares deeply. He maintains a fiscally sound school district, which in these tough economic times is challenging to say the least. He is the educational leader, making sure that the education of our students prepares them for an ever-changing world. It is through Bill's leadership that we have a district that is recognized around the state as a district to emulate. I was a newly elected board member when we needed to hire a new superintendent. I was confident then that we made the right choice in hiring Mr. Kimball. In the 6.5 years since, he has proven himself as an exceptional leader and certainly has earned my respect. He has been and continues to be an advocate for our children. Please help me welcome Mr. Kimball.
Good evening. I've been to every one of these, and every one of them have been extremely special to the parents and the students that have been involved. And I think we owe a real debt of gratitude to our Chamber of Commerce and our business community to giving us the kind of support that they do. And I would like to tonight publicly thank Tom Miller, the current president of the Chamber, and Holly Quain. Actually, I got that wrong, didn't I, Tom? She's the president, you're the CEO or something like that, whatever they are. But they do a great job for the schools, and they're always there, and many of the programs that they've helped to start have continued on for many, many years, and we certainly appreciate the work that they do. I would, before I make the introduction to the speaker, also like to congratulate the students. It's a high honor that you've earned, and it doesn't happen overnight. You've worked day after day after day to compile this wonderful record. We're very proud of you. We're also very proud of your parents and your extended family, your grandparents, for the support that they've given you and the wonderful young people that you've turned out to be. We're very proud of you. You represent us, and you are the best of the best. It is my pleasure tonight to introduce to you our speaker, who also was one of the best of the best, and is a Port Huron Northern High School graduate, so I'm particularly pleased tonight. Our guest speaker this evening is Robert Nichols. He is a 1969 graduate of Port Huron Northern High School. He earned his bachelor's degree in industrial administration from General Motors Institute, now Kettering University, in 1974. Bob was employed with General Motors for a year following graduation and then opened his own wholesale retail business, which he operated until 1985. Mr. Nichols' current position as Vice President of Corporate Relations and Enrollment Services at Kettering University began in 1997. His responsibilities include supervision of the admissions, cooperative education, and career services, financial aid, and thesis program offices. His previous positions include Assistant Dean of Academic Services and Director of Corporate Relations. He has been employed at Kettering 21 years. He currently serves as the advisor to the Student Hockey Club and the Robot Honorary Society at Kettering University. Bob is an elder in the First Presbyterian Church of Flint. His favorite activities are ice hockey, camping, running, and tennis, in that order. Bob and Laura, his wife of 30 years, have a son, Joshua, 27 years old, a 7-year-old grandson, Jack, both living in South Carolina, and a daughter, Maria, 24 years old. Please welcome back to Port Huron our guest speaker, Mr. Robert M. Nichols.
Well, I appreciate you telling me I'm the best of the best. Obviously, you didn't see my transcript from Northern. And Ken, I don't know, we didn't have this kind of thing when I was graduating, so I'm not sure if they had it and I wasn't invited, or they just didn't have it back then. Thank you for bringing us back. We do get back here often because our families still live here. So, in fact, often means sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. This is my wife, Laura, who has accompanied me tonight. And it was fun to see some friendly faces tonight. Are there any students in here, at the risk of being embarrassed or for the second time tonight, are there any students in here that are going to Kettering this coming fall?
Yay!
Okay, they deserve at least a second or third dessert, wouldn't you say, Bill? Okay, thank you very much. I had to get that out of the way. I do want to congratulate the students and the parents. It's cool to be smart. It's cool to work hard and be rewarded. I work very hard with a program called First Robotics nationally through Kettering. We give scholarships. First Robotics is a high school competition, and the whole point of First is to get students interested in science and math at the high school level. We even work down into the middle school level now with First Lego Leagues to get middle school students interested in science and math. We need smart kids. We need smart people that want to go into these technical degrees. So you should be proud of yourself that you've worked this hard. One of the things we do at Kettering, because we're a co-op school, all of our students work while they go to school, is we teach them how to write a resume. In fact, we started working with our high school students in the spring of their senior year. Some of you, I hope, came to our professional co-op conferences, trying to help students prepare for their next career. And when I used to teach that class, I used to tell students they had to do a T account on themselves. And for those of you who had accounting, a T account is credits and debits. But a T account on a resume is your strengths and weaknesses. And students really struggle with this as high school graduates because, number one, they're not sure they have any weaknesses, even though we're glad to start helping them point those out. But they also don't want to put their positives down sometimes because they feel like they're bragging. And what I'd like to ask the students tonight to think about is a personal resume on yourself. And so my question to the students tonight is, who are you as you are ready to advance and move on to the next phase of your life? Many of you going to university, many of you going into military service, or wherever your goal might be. What do I mean by a T account? A personal T account. What are your values? What have your parents instilled in you? Do you follow religion? What are the values that your parents have said to you that they've taught you as you've grown up that you probably take much for granted today? So I thought I'd start tonight by honoring you so much that I'm going to take you back to kindergarten. Many of you are familiar with a book by Robert Fulghum called All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. And my point tonight is, don't forget the common things that you were taught. All I really need to know I learned in kindergarten. Wisdom was not at the top of the graduate school mountain, but there in Sandpile at Sunday school. There are things I learned. Share everything. Play fair. Don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Now, with all due respect to Robert Fogum, I think your parents probably taught you this before you went to kindergarten, but you probably don't give them credit for that or you forgot. Clean up your own mess. I always had a little trouble with that one with my daughter. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say you're sorry when you hurt somebody. Wash your hands before you eat. Flush. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you. Live a balanced life. Learn some, think some, draw and paint, sing and dance, play and work every day. Take a nap every afternoon. Now take any of those items and extrapolate into a sophisticated adult terms and apply it to your family life, and in your case, your future life, your work or your government, and it holds true, clear, and firm. Think what a better world it would be. The whole world had cookies and milk about 3 o'clock every afternoon and then lay down with their blankies. Or if all governments had a basic policy to always put things back where they'd found them and clean up their own mess. Enough said. 2 weeks ago, Jim McCaslin, who's the COO of Harley-Davidson Motorcycle Company, was on campus. Jim happens to be a 1974 graduate of Kettering with me, and he was on campus to speak to his students. And he really brought a message home that's why I wanted to share this with you tonight, because he talked about some of the common values. He talked about what's going on in corporations today and the lack of confidence in our leaders. And he spoke to a packed auditorium of students, faculty, and staff. He didn't talk about Harley-Davidson motorcycles. He didn't talk about how to be a better businessman per se. Here's what he talked about. During his talk, he advised students not to be afraid to take risks and suggested they can learn a wealth of information from the mistakes they make. You should keep a journal of your experiences during your career, and especially your screw-ups, because it's through our mistakes that we learn the most. He described 10 things that he gave the students they can do during their careers that would help them become successful professionals. I'm not going to read all 10, but I picked out a few that I was really impressed with. Remember the things I just told you about kindergarten. Basic truths, basic values that we should carry every day of our life. Tell the truth, he said, and tell it often. Listen to people. Your boss may not always be right, but they are the boss. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know. I need help. I was wrong, and I apologize. How many people say that today? How many people blame everybody else for what goes wrong? They don't take personal responsibility. And I'm asking you to think about that as you move forward. You've been very successful so far. You need to take that forward with you and take that responsibility. And the last thing he said was, smile and have fun. I don't know if you saw the article that was out of ABC News last week, but it really points to what's going on in our world today. It was about student cheating. Almost a third of the students admit to cheating, according to ABC News' primetime poll of kids 12 to 17. The vast majority of students said they know cheaters lose out in the long run and that their parents would rather have them do their best work, regardless of grades, than cheat. Yet just a third of the students said they had a serious talk with their parents. I can understand that part. Peer influence is a factor, the poll found. Those with friends who've cheated are more tempted and more likely to cheat themselves. And then just last week, one of our professors, Dr. Trevor Harding, was involved in a study on academic dishonesty at the university and college level. And he said, cheating is socially accepted today by students. Socially accepted. According to the data, 60 to 90% of all students surveyed reported some form of cheating during their academic career. A history of cheating in high school was a significant predictor of cheating in college. Moral attitudes play an important role. The more a student believes cheating is wrong, regardless of the situation, the less likely they will cheat. This, according to Professor Harding, suggests that morality and moral maturity are important variables. Students on scholarships were slightly more likely to cheat on tests than students because they're afraid they're going to lose their scholarship if they don't meet the certain requirements. You are a unique individual, every single one of you. You have unique strengths, unique weaknesses. You have your own fingerprint. And you have an opportunity now to make an imprint on your future. My short message to you is keep your integrity, hold your head high, and keep your beliefs that you learned in kindergarten with your parents. Webster defines integrity as the quality or state of being sound moral principle, honesty, uprightness, and sincerity. And moral is good or right in conduct or character, capable of making the distinction between right and wrong. It sounds simple, but it's rarely practiced in many parts of our world today. So my message to you is, there's no I in team, but there is an I in integrity, and it's the first letter of the word. So take that forward and hold your head high, and you and your parents can be proud of your accomplishments. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I had the opportunity to hear Bob speak not too long ago, and I just want to make a quick comment. I don't know how many of you are aware of the fact that our community college, St. Clair County Community College, has formed a partnership with Kettering University, and you're going to see and hear, I'm sure, a lot more from Bob. And what I've observed so far about the people that are working through the community college and the people from Kettering is that they really do a great job. You can trust them. They're hardworking, they're very ethical people. And I think our community is going to be a much better place by having that relationship with Kettering. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now we get to the fun part of the program, and we're going to take our time with this. We're going to call each graduate up, and we're going to have the parents, if you'd like, come up and take a picture, so we'll take our time. And I'd like to ask that Barb Daniels, President of the Board, and Tom Miller, Assistant Superintendent and Chamber of Commerce Board Chair, help me with this task. What I will do is I'll call your name, have you come up, and then as that person is finishing, I will call the next person if you can kind of be ready and start your way up, and we'll work our way through it. Everybody ready? Get your cameras ready? Okay. Darian Ainsworth, Port Huron Northern, second-year letter. Melody Baranowski, Port Huron Northern, fourth-year bar. Brendan Bell, Port Huron Northern, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth-year bar. Heather Belling, Port Huron Northern, fourth-year bar. Allison Bennett, Port Huron Northern, fourth-year bar. Christopher Bausman, Port Huron High School, fourth-year bar. Autumn Bradshaw, Port Huron Northern, third-year bar. David Brown, Port Huron Northern, valedictorian, Academic Scholars Diploma, 4th year bar. Michael Brown, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Adrian Berman, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Chelsea Burns, Port Huron High School, 4th year bar. Stephanie Cargo, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Amy Carruthers, Port Huron High School, 4th year bar. Blair Carson, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Hillary Cassidy, Port Huron Northern, 3rd year bar. Matthew Chapman, Port Huron High School, Academic Scholars Diploma, 4th year bar. Leslie Clegg, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Allison Cole, Port Huron Northern, valedictorian, Academic Scholars Diploma, 4th year bar. Ashley Cummins, Port Huron Northern, valedictorian, Academic Scholars Diploma, 4th year bar. Samantha Cuppen, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Lindsay Courier, Port Huron Northern, 2nd year letter. Brianna Dell, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Randy Dembowski, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Amanda Dortmund, Portier Northern, fourth-year bar. Jeremy Durst, Portier Northern, fourth-year bar. Amanda Eakins, Portier Northern, fourth-year bar. Alex Easton, Portier Northern, fourth-year bar. Jeffrey Easton, Portier Northern, valedictorian, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth-year bar. Paul Elder, Portier Northern, valedictorian, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth-year bar. Tyler Fagan, Portier Northern, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth-year bar. Amanda Ferns, Portier Northern, second-year letter. Ashley Fournier, Portier Northern, second-year letter. Chad Frazier, Portier in High School, fourth-year bar. Brian Fry, Portier in High School, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth-year bar. Brittany Frizzle, Portier Northern, fourth-year bar. Misha Gino, Portier Northern, fourth-year bar. Gary Gerlach, Portier Northern, fourth-year bar. Ashley Gillett, Portier in High School, fourth-year bar. Andrea Glenecki, Portier in High School, valedictorian, fourth-year bar. John Grandy, Portier Northern, fourth-year bar. Diana Hadar, Portier Northern, fourth-year bar. Cody Hawley, Port Huron High School, fourth-year bar. Gregory Hartman, Port Huron High School, salutatorian, academic scholars diploma, fourth-year bar. Marissa Hayes, Port Huron Northern, academic scholars diploma, fourth-year bar. Sarah Hayash, Port Huron High School, fourth-year bar. Stacy Harriman, Port Huron High School, third-year bar. Jamie Hinsky, Port Huron Northern, academic scholars diploma, first-year pin. Nathan Holt, Port Huron Northern, fourth-year bar. Mary Beth Hutton, Port Huron Northern, fourth-year bar. Christopher Isaacson, Port Huron High School, third-year bar. Matthew July, Port Huron High School, fourth-year bar. Sean Kern, Port Huron Northern, academic scholars diploma, fourth-year bar. Kelly King, Port Huron Northern, fourth-year bar. Michael Connect, Port Huron High School, fourth-year bar. Tracy Kraft, Port Huron Northern, fourth-year bar. Benjamin Kraft, Port Huron High School, academic scholars diploma, fourth-year bar. David Kuzia, Port Huron Northern, valedictorian, academic scholars diploma, and fourth-year bar. Matthew Lader, Port Huron Northern, Academic Scholars Diploma, 4th year bar. Leah Levine, Port Huron Northern, salutatorian, 4th year bar. Heather Leslie, Port Huron High School, 4th year bar. Scott Lewandowski, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Karen Lewis, Port Huron Northern, Academic Scholars Diploma, 4th year bar. Kimberly Martin, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Kelly Maxon, Port Huron High School, 4th year bar. James McGrath, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Abby McIntyre, Port Huron High School, 4th year bar. Shayna McLaughlin, Port Huron Northern, 3rd year bar. Rahel Merchant, Port Huron Northern, Academic Scholars Diploma, 4th year bar. Caitlin Miller, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Samantha Moore, Port Huron High School, 4th year bar. Courtney Muir, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Kristen Nichols, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Jennifer Nichols, Port Huron Northern, Academic Scholars Diploma, 4th year bar. Jessica Olshevy, Port Huron High School, 4th year bar. Joshua Palmatier, Port Huron Northern, 4th year bar. Douglas Patrick, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Carrie Perkins, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Erica Politowicz, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Justin Portis, Port Huron High School, third year bar. Benjamin Provost, Port Huron High School, fourth year bar. Michael Ratzel, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Aaron Reyna, Port Huron High School, fourth year bar. Shane Reinhardt, Port Huron High School, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth year bar. Courtney Robinson, Port Huron High School, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth year bar. Bethany Ross, Port Huron High School, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth year bar. Sean Rotondi, Port Huron High School, fourth year bar. Kimberly Samuels, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Allison Schneider, Port Huron Northern, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth year bar. Annalisa Seppo, Port Huron High School, fourth year bar. Harsh Shah, Port Huron Northern, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth year bar. Adam Sharp, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Amanda Sharp, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Andrew Smith, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Devin Smith, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Rachel Somerville, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Micah Stanislawski, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Joshua Stotzer, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Amy Schindler, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Jennifer Thomas, Port Huron Northern, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth year bar. Kelly Tourangeau, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Rebecca Walsh, Port Huron High School, fourth year bar. James Watson, Port Huron High School, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth year bar. Marissa Wells, Port Huron Northern, third year bar. David Wingard, Port Huron High School, fourth year bar. Kayla Winkler, Port Huron Northern, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth year bar. Michael Whitliff, Port Huron Northern, fourth year bar. Stacy Wynn, Port Huron High School, fourth year bar. Dana Zahirachuk, Port Huron High School, Academic Scholars Diploma, fourth year bar. Eric Zonlak, Port Huron Northern, fourth-year bar. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our graduates a hand, and let's give each of you a hand as being great parents in helping them get to this point. The other day, I had to fill out a survey that's being done regarding school boards and superintendents and relationships and what makes school districts good and better than others and so on. And it really didn't take me very long to answer that particular question. There was a list to choose from, and it really is our great staff. That's what makes our schools good. Our teaching staff is excellent in the Port Huron Area School District. We take great pride in them. One of the things that the Chamber wanted to do many years ago is give the students an opportunity to honor those teachers that really made a huge difference in their life, somebody that they're going to remember and maybe deserve some recognition that they normally don't get other than, through the students, some public presentation. So tonight, we're going to have two of our students come to the front, and they're going to make a presentation to the teachers selected from Port Huron High School and the teachers selected from Port Huron Northern that the students chose that has had a tremendous influence on their education. So I'd first like to ask Amy Carruthers, president of Port Huron High School, National Honor Society, to come up and make her presentation, and then we will ask the person that they have chosen to join them. Then we'll follow that by Northerns. Amy?
Good evening. Tonight I will be introducing our Teacher of the Year, Ms. Foster. Ms. Foster is a very caring woman. Whenever a student is in need, she is always willing to lend a helping hand or a listening ear. Ms. Foster is very passionate about giving her students a well-rounded understanding of literature. She is also a type of teacher who strives to have her students to take a step aside into someone else's shoes to see their different aspects of life. So it is an honor tonight to recognize this extraordinary teacher whose grace and wisdom is an essential part to our Port Huron High School student family, Ms. Foster.
Good evening. First, let me say how delighted I am to share this honor with my longtime friend, Mr. Michael Artman from Port Huron Northern. When Port Huron High students and Northern students travel together to Washington, D.C. for the Close-Up program, I often get to hear all the wonderful comments that students say about Mr. Artman. Being chosen as the influential teacher by the class of 2004 means a great deal to me for several reasons. First, it gives me an opportunity to see each of my students recognized here tonight for all of their tremendous academic accomplishments. I'm so proud of all of you. You honor your parents, you honor Port Huron High School, and most of all, you honor yourselves by setting goals and achieving those accomplishments. This evening also gives me a chance to remember those who have been an influence and an inspiration to me throughout my life and my teaching career. I was most fortunate to have started teaching alongside some of the finest people anyone could ever have as mentors. I'm sure that some of the staff and even some of the parents here tonight may recognize some of these names if you'll indulge me for a moment. My most influential friends and mentors were people like Glenn Pike, Fran Renner, Katie Tate, Ellen Rogers, Stan Renner. Every day in my own classroom, I try to live up to the practices those people modeled for me. Even to this day, I indulge in a small ritual which Glenn Pike and I started many years ago. At the end of the day, when the students have left, the room is quiet, I give myself a grade. And if I fall short of an acceptable level, I know that I have to try just a little harder the next day. Now, just a few years down that road from the formative years, I'm continually inspired by the quality and the dedication and the energy of many of the younger teachers who show me each day and remind me that this is the best job in the world. Finally, most of all, you, my students, inspire me every single day with your diligence, your willingness to help each other accomplish goals. I am thrilled that you are ready to take anything I throw at you every day, that you take the literary leap of faith with me each day, never fails to impress me. I hope that you are as fortunate as I have been to have excellent mentors to guide you, and I hope that you will be passionate about your life's work, and I'm positive as I look out at you tonight, and I know that there are wonderful surprises for the graduates of the class of 2004. Thank you very much for this honor.
Very well deserved. She does a great job. And also a curriculum leader in our district in many, many ways. Now I'd like to ask Ashley Cummins, President, Port Huron Northern High School National Honor Society, to come up and make the presentation for Port Huron Northern's most influential teacher this year.
Good evening. Tonight I will be introducing Mr. Michael Artman. Mr. Michael Artman has taught in the Port Huron Area School District for the past 27 years. Of the last 20 years, he has taught at Port Huron Northern High School, in which he teaches American Literature and AP American History. He inspires his students to appreciate the wonders of history and literature. According to his students, he brings history to life. This is evidenced by his students visiting his home dressed in historical costumes. His students also enjoy his tales of his hitchhiking experiences. Unfortunately, I have never had the privilege of having him as a teacher. However, he has truly impacted the lives of all of his students. It gives me great pleasure to present the Most Influential Teacher Award to Mr. Artman, as voted by the students present tonight.
I also wanted to say how much I enjoyed sharing this award with Laura Foster again. We did this the first time around, I think about maybe 7 or 8 years ago. For a teacher to be selected by his students as the one person who has made the greatest difference in his or her high school career is a true honor, and it is one that I will cherish for many years, long after I leave Port Huron Northern. When thinking about this award, it has caused me to look back on the last 3 years with some very fond memories. One memory in particular is the annual candlelight home tour my wife and I host for my AP history students. The students are invited to tour a Victorian home near Pine Grove Park and are encouraged to dress in costume. When they arrive, they are greeted by our butler, Ivan, actually our next-door neighbor, and they present him with their calling card, which explains who they are portraying. Then after a tour of our home, each student will get up in front of the entire group and explain who they're supposed to be. 3 years ago, this particular class portrayed people as diverse as General Douglas MacArthur and young Tom Edison to Jackie Kennedy and Hillary Clinton. However, after talking with the students about that particular night, I do have one question. I heard many people say that as soon as Gary Gerlach arrived at my home, our cat became extremely agitated and actually bit him on the ankle. I guess my only question, though, is why no one came to Gary's rescue. Another memory I have of my history students is the annual planting of flowers in Pine Grove Park. When thinking about that particular day, who would have thought that Mike Braitzel would have turned into a master gardener, that Misha Gino would be mistaken for a juvenile delinquent, and by the way, Eric, what did happen to that worm? Okay, then of course there are the American literature classes. What can I say about them? I am sure everyone will remember those infamous road trips we took with Willie Nelson singing in the background. As for first hour, who will ever forget Jan, the German exchange student, reading the part of John Proctor in The Crucible with his German accent? And for second hour, I will always remember the guys arriving from football theory, all sweaty and thirsty, with bottles of Gatorade in hand. I think we spent the entire winter that year with the windows open. And of course, everyone's favorite thing, the book conference. Actually, I look forward to those very much. It gave me an opportunity to talk to all of my students on an individual basis, and I think I learned as much from those conferences as they did. But on a more serious note, I recently attended the wedding of my college roommate's son, and during the ceremony, the priest talked about the journey that the young couple was starting together, and it made me think about the journey that you're about to embark upon. My advice to you as you start this new phase in your life is to identify your passion and to pursue it with perseverance. I know from personal experience I was advised not to go into education because there wouldn't be a job when I graduated from college. And I also was advised that whatever I do, don't go into an American history as a major. But already then I knew that teaching was my passion. So I followed my dream, and even though that meant teaching classes like I'm okay, you're okay, women the weaker sex, and one year I even taught discovery science in the band room and American history in the wood shop. But through perseverance, I was able to work my way into my current position, and for the last 8 years, I've had the perfect job. So like Jay Gatsby, identify your green light at the end of the dock and dedicate your life to pursuing your dream. And then finally, speaking of perseverance, on a more personal note, last summer I made a promise that if I were to receive this award again, I would dedicate it to my friend and colleague, Trace Vincent, who taught me the true meaning of the word perseverance. And if given the opportunity, I know that one day he would be standing here where I am today. Now, his courage, fortitude, and demonstration of grace under pressure made him the true Hemingway hero. But once again, I want to thank you for the award. It's truly an honor and one that I will remember for the rest of my life. And coming from this particular class, it really means a great deal to me. So thank you very, very much.
There's certain teachers' names that you just hear around the community, around the schools, and all the kids want to have them, and these two folks tonight are just perfect examples of the wonderful teaching staff we have, and I hope they have many, many more years to instruct our young people and help them become the leaders that they can become. We have just a couple more tasks, and this one's a real pleasure. Each year at this point, I have the opportunity to give our speaker a gift, and I always ask them to come up and I give it to them, but I always ask them to open it because it is one of our most treasured gifts, and I think one that he will feel very proud of, and I'm sure will either have in his office or his home. So, Bob, if you could join me, we have a small gift for you. Actually, it's a rather large gift. But you do have to open it.
I do.
Thank you very much for coming tonight
My
and
pleasure.
preparing, and we appreciate your words. You can open it and show us what you have.
All right, I'll rip it. That's great. Thank you.
By the way, that was framed by one of our school board members, Mr. Chuck Meeker. And he did a great job on that. I'd like to introduce our last speaker, who will make just a few very brief closing remarks. But before doing that, I would like to say the gentleman that I'm going to introduce really deserves much of the credit for the success of this program year after year. All of the details, from the wonderful book that the students get, the program, the decorations, the food, everything that took place tonight has been really under the direction of Mr. Ken Kraft, and he does a wonderful job in so many ways in our school district. He is in charge of the fine arts programs in our district, which are getting to be second to none, and we're really proud of that. And he also has responsibilities for public relations and certainly does a good job with that, and he has many other hats that he wears, but this is one of the things that he does that we really appreciate. And I'd like to ask him to come forward tonight and just make a few closing remarks, Mr. Ken Kraft.
Thank you, Mr. Kimball. To everything there is a beginning and an end, and to symbolize the end of our festivities tonight, would someone at each table please blow out the candle in your centerpiece, which will enable us to clear the decorations immediately after our celebration. They have to cool down just enough so that we can pack them. Thank you very much for your assistance. This evening we have shared in a very special ceremony honoring the accomplishments of our children, those who will soon exit our educational program to venture into new experiences in life. They know that they are now young adults, even though we know they will always be our children in our hearts. They stand on the threshold of tomorrow's opportunities, ready to end one stage of life and embark on a new and exciting adventure. As parents and educators, we must let them go, trusting that we have given them the skills and the confidence to tackle whatever the future holds. Students, we are looking forward to seeing you be successful in whatever you choose to become. In the meantime, be ready for life's surprises. They come fast and furious. Our honor celebration now comes to a close, but just around the corner is another new beginning, another fresh start. Good luck in all that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, students and guests, thank you all for coming. Have a safe trip home. Good night.
VHS.